Hey guys, it's Jen Lefforge. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a very special edition of Creator Update. This is my 11-month Creator Update, and I just wanted to check in with you guys and answer your questions. So first of all, before I get started, if you are not already subscribed to the channel and you are interested in Disney content, running content, travel, and creator updates, creator conversations, would you please go hit that subscribe button? I would love to have you here, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you would like more of these kinds of videos from me. I am coming to you guys today from the Dolphin Resort at Walt Disney World. I had a few extra minutes. It's very gray and rainy this morning. Scott has had to go on ahead so that he could get back to work. My flight leaves in a few hours, and I thought, you know what? I've got the questions in my phone, so I will go ahead and film this for you guys because I've been wanting to get to this video for a while. Usually when I do these creator updates, you guys know that I go over numbers. There's not a lot there to share except for the fact that we did hit a few milestones. We are almost at 6,000 subscribers, which, you know, I always say we because I feel like you guys are part of this journey with me, and everyone, you know, my husband and all the support that I have. So definitely not doing this alone. So I'm going to use, maybe it's the royal we, I don't know. But let's go with we. Just almost at the 6,000 subscriber mark. I passed the 500,000 view mark, which was a very big deal for me. Even I suffer from the comparison trap. That sounded really snotty. Even I, you know, not even I suffer from the comparison trap because it's easy. I just was watching a video the other day of a couple who's been doing YouTube for only a year, and they have 100,000 subscribers. So whether you've been doing it for a year and you have 30 subscribers, or whether you've been doing it for a year and you have 100,000 subscribers, I'm hoping that some of the things I share with you today will be helpful. I know a lot of you that are watching are just starting your baby channels, and I just want to remind you that everybody starts somewhere, whether you are, you know, Tim and Jen Tracker, or whether you are, you know, name some other big, huge YouTuber. We all started with 0 subscribers. And so if that's you today, I just want to encourage you that if this is the journey that you're on, stick with it, keep being creative, keep being your authentic self, and let the numbers take care of themselves. I think there's 17 questions on here. I don't think I'm going to get through all 17, but I'll give it my best shot. So question number 1 comes from Chris747. Hey Chris, how strict do you keep to a schedule of releasing videos? My fear is that some days I'll just not be into it or not in the right headspace, but I know consistency is key in gaining followers. So I try to be as consistent as possible, and I'll tell you my trick for this because Chris, I'm totally with you. There are some days when I just do not feel like filming. So I film in bulk. If I'm having a day where I'm feeling really good, in my case, it's when I've had my hair done typically, I might film 3, 4, 5 videos in one day, and I'll usually have a list of videos that I'm waiting to film that they're kind of anytime videos. So if I'm having a week where I'm just struggling, maybe I'm sick, maybe there's a lot going on and I just don't feel like filming, I can put up one of those anytime videos and at least get out there. So that would be my tip for that. On the days when you feel, even if you just film 1 extra video, on the days when you feel like filming, film what you had planned on filming, and then try to film just 1 extra video or 2 extra videos. Now, in order for that to work, you have to have done some pre-planning so that you have some video topics kind of in the can. But I find that's the best way to make sure that on my down days, I still have something that I can put up. So I think that's a fantastic question and something a lot of creators struggle with. From Octavio, he asks, firstly, your channel is amazing and a staple to my family's pre-Disney entertainment. Thank you so much. I'd love to know about how you select the music you use on your videos. I know from experience that copyright is a big thing, and so your process for finding music that can be used on YouTube would be a good resource for new creators. So, as I think you guys know, if you've been here for a while, my music is extremely important to me. I take a lot of pride in how I pick my music. I use a company called Epidemic Sound. It's a Canadian company. You pay a monthly subscription fee. You do not have to list the name of the song and the artist. All you have to say is music by Epidemic Sound in your description for your video. Having said that, if I feature a song, as I did in my Christmas video, and if you go to the front page of the of the channel, you can watch that. I loved that song and I wanted to honor the artist, so I made sure to list the name of the song and the artist. I think that's just a nice courtesy. It is not legally required if you have a subscription through Epidemic Sound, but you know, from the artist perspective, anytime you're featuring their music, of course you want to make sure you give that to people. But love, love, love Epidemic Sound. I know a lot of people use other companies. Of course, YouTube has a whole royalty-free library, as does iMovie, but I have just found Epidemic Sound has, I like their browse features a lot, and so definitely go and check them out if you're interested in that. And I like that I just don't have to worry about the licensing piece of things. Great company to work with. Jackie from Super Enthused. Jackie, by the way, has just had a huge uptick in her following. If you guys aren't following her channel, go and do that. What are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen smaller creators make? And what are some suggestions to correct for this from early on? I know some are just experience and practice, but are there any common mistakes that could be easily fixed that smaller creators just aren't noticing? So I would say, definitely don't be afraid to edit kind of talking head videos. I see a lot of new creators and they'll have a lot, I'm not gonna edit this video much at all because I'm gonna head home and hopefully get it up for you guys this afternoon, but they'll have a lot of ums and pauses and their transitions are awkward. So I think don't be afraid to edit videos that are like this. I think the viewers expect that. They don't mind the breaks. One thing you can do is script it out. I don't like reading from a script, but I may have like 3 or 4 sections to a video, and so I'll have section 1 and I'll film section 1 and then I'll take a break. I'll kind of look at my notes, remind myself what I wanted to say. Section 2, take a break, look at my notes, remind myself of what I wanted to say. Take your time with these sort of conversational videos and don't feel like you can't just keep going. Like I cannot tell you how many times I make a mistake, and I learned this years ago in a creative job that I was in, you just keep going. So if I were to say a wrong word or whatever, don't be like, you know, take a huge break or feel like, oh, I have to start over. Just say the exact same thing you just said over again in a different way, or using the correct word, or not stumbling or not coughing or whatever. That will save you a lot of time, and it will and I'll show you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to leave that in, and it will also make for see, I did it again. And it will also make for a much better experience for your viewer because they're not having to listen to the ums and sighs and all of those natural things that we just do when we talk. When you're using your editing software, you'll notice little ticks that have like a red dot on them. You'll get really good at understanding when you've made an awkward pause or you've said or whatever, and you can just cut those out and move on, and it will make for a much smoother experience for your viewer. The other mistake I've seen new creators make is just not plan. I think it's a very big deal to put as much energy, if not more, into preparing your videos as you do filming your videos. So I spend, if it takes me 20 minutes to film, I'm probably at least double that in preparation. Now I know for a lot of you, there are time management issues that make that really difficult, but try to squeeze out, like for example, while I've been in this hotel, this is my list of the videos that I want to film in the next couple of weeks regarding our cruise. Any time that you have a notebook with you, if you're on the train or you're on a bus, have your technology to where you can make notes. Take advantage of those little pieces of time you find yourself with during the day, and then when you go to film, you already will have done a lot of the work. The other thing is make sure people know about you. Are you leveraging other forms of social media? Are you reaching out to other creators? And I mean it in an authentic way, not in a spammy way. Nobody wants to be spammed, y'all. Nobody wants to be spammed. But are you developing relationships? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. These are great ways to reach out to other creators and to ask questions and to kind of start a relationship. And you'll not only learn from them, but also you'll get some exposure to their followers as well, which might lead traffic back to your channel. So you really just can't post your videos in a void and expect people to find you. They just won't. The YouTube gods, as we know, and I say all the time, are very fickle. You are at the mercy of the YouTube gods, but you can kind of give them a little leg up if you utilize some of those other social media tactics. Also making authentic comments on other creators' videos. Jackie's a perfect example. She and I have become friends because we commented on each other's videos, not in a sub for sub way. Down with the sub for sub. It's bad for you. It's bad for your channel. It's not authentic. It's just garbage. Don't do the sub for sub. So that's what I have to say about that. And Jackie, you said you have some thoughts on that as well. So I would love for you to, if you're watching this, I'd love for you to put those comments below. All right, next question. How do you film? Do you film just one continuous roll and cut and clip in your software? Also, are you still using MacBook and iMovie? Do you think it's worth investing in those products for ease alone? Also, she's saying thank you, and this is from Nikki J, by the way. Thank you for Thank you for suggesting Michelle B channel notes. Okay, that was a lot of questions. It wasn't that many questions. Yes, I am still using iMovie. I love it. My husband just the other day was like, I know there's a pro version of it. Should you upgrade? I'm like, the learning curve for me with YouTube has been so steep, and I'm so used to what I'm doing now. I don't really want to upgrade. I'm not finding that there are any features that I'm missing. I kind of answered this in the question before, but yeah, Nikki, I just film in one continuous loop, and then I go back and I cut out anything that is awkward or pauses, or if the dogs are barking or whatever. This is kind of nice because I'm filming at a resort, so my dogs aren't here. If I hear them barking really loud and I've said a segment, I'll just wait. I'll just keep talking, wait for them to settle down, mark where I was, and then go back and just say that exact same thing again, cut it from wherever I was able to do it later. Sometimes it's at the end, cut and paste, and put it back where it properly belongs. I also try to watch it all the way through before I'm done with my filming session. I film in my basement. I usually edit upstairs in the kitchen. So I watch it all the way through to make sure there's nothing that I wish I had said more clearly or whatever. So I can go ahead and film it right then so it sort of has continuity. And then I can just cut and paste it and put things where I want them to go. I think I was afraid when I first started about doing that, and I have no idea why, but you can easily move pieces to where they make more sense. And that's true with vlogs too. If you're doing a travel vlog and chronologically it makes more sense to put the thing you did at 3 o'clock at 10 a.m., feel free to do that. Your viewer wants to hear a good story. They don't care so much about if it was a completely accurate timeline. Does that make sense? So kind of be creative and feel the freedom to do what you want with your own channel. But yes, I do film all the way through. Next question, what do you do when you run, this is from Erica Macias, what do you do when you run out of video ideas? Are you concerned at all about that? So again, I am writing down ideas almost constantly. I always have the vlogs from the trip that I've just been on, but then I also have a whole list of ideas that are general Disney topics, that are home topics, that are running topics, that are maybe about clinical depression, which you guys have heard me talk about. My mind is always moving. And one of the things I love about YouTube is it's an outlet for all the crazy monkeys that are in my head. Now, I will tell you right now, some of my ideas are wackadoodle and should never see the light of day, but that doesn't mean they're not on the list. So I've talked about this before, but I try to have brainstorming sessions where I take this huge whiteboard and I basically brainstorming sessions with myself. I write down everything that pops into my head and then I kind of pull from that. And I do have a running list. TubeBuddy has a topic planner option on their iPhone app. You could just keep it in a notebook, but I'm always, anytime I have a great idea, I write it down. You guys have heard me say this in almost every creator video that I have done. Good people have ideas in the shower. Great people have ideas in the shower. Get out of the shower and write them down because you will not remember that brilliant idea that you had at 7 a.m. So make sure you have a centralized location, or if you're me, 15 different locations throughout your home and digital life where you can record those spur of the moment ideas that you have about videos. And you know, take chances. If you're out of video ideas, maybe think about taking a total departure from what you normally do and see how your viewers like it. There's no harm in that. So just be creative and take chances. Amy Bragdon said, the very basics, editing, thumbnails, etc. I'm super worried about the editing and technical parts of creating a channel. Okay, so Amy, I love this question. The only way to learn how to do YouTube is to do YouTube. You can, I probably watched videos for 6 months before I ever filmed. I probably watched videos about producing videos for about 6 months before I ever filmed my first video. But the only way you learn is by doing it. Now, if you're worried about the technical aspect, what I would recommend is upload a few videos in private. That way you can kind of get a feel for it. You can get feedback from family members or friends. You can experiment and know that it's not out there in the World Wide Web. But at some point, you're going to have to hit that publish button. And don't be afraid of that. Here's what happens. If it's really bad, YouTube's not going to show it to anybody. So if you put it out there and it doesn't get any response, go back, try again, try a different topic, try a different this, a different that. I watched a creator update years ago through YouTube's actual creator update channel, and she was saying if it's a dog video, just leave it up. YouTube's just not going to show it to anybody. So although you don't want to do that forever because you want to put out good quality material, don't be afraid to just take the chance and start. Because if you go back, if you stop this video right now and you go back and watch my first maybe 10, 15 videos, there's some crap in there. There's some bad videos. But at some point, you just have to do your homework, work with some editing software that you just practice with, and just get it out there. Because if you wait for it to be perfect, it never will be. And you want to learn. This is definitely a learn on the job scenario. So just be fearless. You've got this. Next question is from Our Happy Place. Any advice for viewer retention? I know quality content is important, but are there length and timing tips? So viewer retention for me, for whatever reason, has not really been a problem. And I don't know, I'm very proud of that. I will say it helps when you are organized. I think that if you tell people, tell them again, and then tell them a third time. If you start your video saying, this is what we're going to talk about, halfway through you say, coming up, we're going to talk about this, and then make sure you stick with that timeline. I know that rambling, people do not like rambling, and they will tune you out and they'll stop watching. So again, the more organized you can be, maybe break your video up into 3 parts. I haven't done it in a minute, but I know when I was first starting out, I did more of like words on the screen to kind of say, number 1, number 2, number 3. Try to keep things very streamlined and very organized, and I think you'll see that you'll have better viewer retention. Also, when you're doing vlogs, watch for transitions being just too long. I've really learned that I don't want more than 12 or 15 seconds as a transition. And with music, maybe 30 seconds. But sometimes I see vloggers who their transitions just take forever. And I know that people they just get bored. It's not that they don't like what they're looking at, they just get bored. So pacing is really important, both with videos like this one, and also when you're doing more of a vlog format video as well. So watch your pacing. And if you watch it, I talk very fast normally, but sometimes I watch someone's video and they seem to be talking like a sloth. And I will put those on double time, but not everybody either knows how to do that or is willing to do that. So just watch your pacing and try to keep the viewer engaged. So I hope that helps with that. I run things. She has a channel about running, by the way, if you want to go check her out. Our Happy Place also, they have a channel, so go check them out as well. A lot of what I wanted to know has been asked. I would be interested in knowing, how do you know which SEO strategy to use, which keywords to put on your video, how to write titles that get you more views, in general, how to be found by YouTube's algorithm. Maybe share what type of content gets the most velocity. Lots of questions. Thanks for doing this. So I love TubeBuddy's Tag Explorer, and that was actually how I decided to do my very first Disney Vacation Club video. Is I was putting different topics into Tag Explorer, and that one popped up as something that would be a good video for me to do. Tag Explorer allows you to test out different titles, different formats, different tag words, and then it gives it a score of very good, good, or I don't know if it's weak or whatever, if it's not a good call. I've said this before, don't necessarily use that, as I'm definitely not going to do that video, but it is a way to find topics that naturally align with your channel and in a way to word them that makes sense. Another great tool is just to put into Google what you're thinking about doing a video about, and then using the Google video search and see what comes up, because that Google is telling you when people put this in, this is the kind of thing that we are showing them. Remember that SEO is not just YouTube's algorithm, but that Google is also a great SEO. So SEO, what do I want to say? Source. So I am not an SEO expert by any stretch of the imagination. I've really learned trial by error. I know that you want your title and your description to say very clearly what your video is about. Don't try to be cute or funny in your title and your description. So if your video is a full day at Magic Kingdom, save the cutesy stuff for your thumbnail. Make your title very descriptive. That will help both YouTube and Google know what your video is about. And the same with your description. Be very clear. I have seen a lot of creators who don't talk about what their video is about in that first paragraph. That is how YouTube knows what your video is about. So make sure that you are being concise and precise, but at least 2, 3, 4 sentences clearly stating what the video is about. And I think that that really helps. And I have found that to be really successful for me for SEO. So that's a great question. Okay, sorry. There we go. Minivans and Money asks, what have you found is the most efficient way to grow your channel? That is such a great question. My answer is going to be really dumb. Create great content that people are looking for. I should run a whole seminar just on that. Create great content that people are looking for. So, and that's not overly saturated. Try to find something that you know a lot about and you're passionate about that people really do want videos about. And then again, go and search YouTube, see what other people are doing. Do your homework in that arena. Giveaways can work, but be very cautious with giveaways because the type of subscriber you're getting with a giveaway sometimes is not a quality subscriber. Not always, but sometimes people will subscribe just to enter the giveaway and then they never watch your videos, which once you're monetized, which I hope that all of you will be able to get to that point if you're not already, subscriber count means nothing for your monetization. It's view count that matters for your monetization. So be working on your subscribers. I'm not saying don't, but be leery, leery, is that the word? Beware of tricks and tactics to get subscribers if they're not going to be genuine subscribers. Another thing, do collaborations and make sure you're doing collaborations with channels that are like yours. For example, I have a whole group of channels, Coral Joy Travel, Allison WDW Girl, the Neverland family, people that I'm connected to that we have similar audiences. And so when we do a collab video, it's awesome because it's a win-win. We gain things from each other. So again, don't just randomly do collabs with people that don't have anything to do with your channel. But if it's a channel that your viewers would like their videos and their viewers would like your videos, that's typically a win-win. So collaborations are another great way to grow your channel. So that's a great question. And again, make sure you're leveraging the other social media. Don't just look at YouTube. You want to be leveraging Twitter. If you don't already have a Facebook page for your YouTube channel, you want to do that. You want to use Instagram. And again, kind of get in that loop of other like-minded people that have similar accounts. Okay, I think I might have gotten cut off quickly. I ran out of room on this SIM card. And I don't have another one with me, so I had to go delete some stuff really quick. Okay, we were talking about the most efficient way to grow your channel. So I'll end that question. And I think I ended with saying definitely leverage other social media outlets as well. Mariah from Mariah's Whole New World, hey Mariah, asks, I think you may have touched on this a little before, but I'd love to know if you had any we already talked about that, unconventional tips on growing a channel. We get the same advice on repeat, thumbnails, posting consistently, using tags, but I want to know if you found some different methods. So again, leverage other social media outlets. Make sure if you're doing giveaways that you're really drawing in authentic followers. Do collabs with like-minded channels, all of those. I think the collabs have been some of the most helpful that I have any control over. A lot of my channel growing has had to do with the topics that I've had and YouTube liking those topics and suggesting my videos. That has been the bulk of my growth, has come from YouTube suggesting my videos. So again, dialing into your topic, your description, making sure that you're easy for YouTube to discover you. That's a really great way to do that. Another really good tip for growing your channel, and I think this falls under the creative category for sure. When you put a video up, make sure you're available to respond to comments. Now, I haven't always followed my own advice here. For example, one video went up while we were on our cruise, and so I didn't respond at all. But YouTube picks up on activity. So if the video goes up at 2 in the morning and you're asleep, and A, nobody watches it, and B, you're not the people that do watch it, you're not responding to comments, then YouTube thinks it's not a very popular video. Those first few hours seem to be super important for how YouTube then decides to suggest your channel. Now, it usually takes about a day. Okay, so you upload a video and it takes about a day for YouTube to figure out what kind of video it's going to be, how it's going to perform, and to start suggesting it to other people. And there's a place on there where you can see how people, in the analytics, how people found your video. So kind of check that and see how people are finding you, and then lean into that. So in other words, the more noise there is about your video the minute it goes up, the more YouTube's going to think it's successful, and then more people they're going to suggest it to. So make sure you are responding to those comments right away, because you can kind of double your exposure. If you get 24 comments and you respond to every one of them, that's 48 comments on that video, and YouTube's going to go, oh, this is probably a successful video. So engagement is super important. Another great thing is giving your viewers an action step. So because you want them to comment. A lot of times our viewers don't do what we want them to do because we don't ask. We don't ask them to subscribe. We don't ask them to comment. We don't ask them to give it a thumbs up. So say to them, will you please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it? Make sure you're subscribed and comment below, insert here. And you don't have to wait till the end of the video, because if you look, most of your viewers aren't watching till the end. So make the ask early. Early on, ask them to subscribe, like, and comment. In the middle, ask them to subscribe, like, and comment. And at the end, ask them to like, subscribe, and comment. And then you're making sure that you get the most engagement from your viewers, because that engagement is what tells YouTube that your video will be well received. So I think that's probably my most, if that's creative, I think that's my most creative tip there. Great question, Mariah. Hempfully Ever After, she just started her channel. It's a great one. Hi Jen, everyone has such great questions. I'm just excited to hear your responses to them all. I'm wondering if you ever get idea blocks, and if so, how do you overcome them? I have a lot of great ideas for right now, but I sometimes worry I will run out of ideas. So I kind of answered this before, Kayla, so definitely, the same thing that I said in the other response. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Every idea you have. There are no dumb ideas. Ask people around you for ideas. Ask people that watch YouTube. What would you like to see from my channel? Ask on the community section on your own page. Ask on social media. What do you want to see from my channel? One of my favorite things I've done is, for a giveaway, I asked viewers to give me content ideas. And boy, I'm still pulling from that. So I'm not worried about running out of ideas, but maybe I should be, but I just feel like there's always something new. There's always something creative. And I've been talking about stuff for my entire life. I don't see that going away anytime soon. So I don't worry about it, but I definitely think drawing from your experiences and writing things down will go a long way. Okay, Elise Peterson wants to know, hey Jen, I don't know if anyone else has asked this, but how long did it take before someone actually found you and you got some watch time, and how long before you got your first subscriber? I've been on YouTube for about a month now, and nothing is that normal. Yeah, I mean, it took a minute. Now, granted, here's what's not really fair about my channel, and I've told you guys this before. I already had a pretty successful blog and 3,000 followers on Twitter and about 2,000 Instagram followers. So I already had set up all of these different ways for people to find out about me. So that might be something you might consider, is kind of entering into these other social media platforms and then letting people know you have a YouTube channel. Again, we want to think, kind of reminds me of, this is such a dated reference, but the little girl in the 50s sitting in a soda shop thinking that some director is going to discover her and make her a movie star. That happened like exactly one time. You need to market yourself. So if you're just putting up videos and you're not doing anything to market your own brand, I think you're missing out, and you may not get any subscribers or followers. So, you know, the rule of thumb is you have to have good content, number one. Number two, you have to be telling someone that you're there. You know, and again, if there's no views and no subscribers, YouTube's unlikely to pick you up. So I'll say, ask everybody you know to watch your video. And if they really like you, ask them to watch it twice, because that is really how the YouTube gods will know whether they should suggest your videos to others. And ultimately, that's how you're going to get views and subscribers. So great question. And good luck, Elise. Lisa Ellen, excuse me, asks, what advice would you give to someone starting out? How to market my channel? We've kind of touched on that quite a bit, Lisa, so hopefully some of what I already said was helpful there. Corinne Lilac says, I want to create more content on YouTube about Disney and fashion. Good job, Corinne. Good luck with all of that. Not really a question there, but good luck to you. Liz Cashman asks, how far out do you plan your content? How do you choose what to film? Is it just instinct, or do you do any research? You guys, do I do any research? So, sorry, I kicked the table a little bit. I know it seems like it's all very casual and relaxed when I finally sit down to film. The only reason it seems so casual and relaxed is because I have spent hours researching whatever it is I'm going to talk about. Now, that's not always the case. Obviously, if I'm doing a vlog and I've traveled somewhere, the content, you know, provides for itself. But in these kinds of videos, this is an exception because it was simply a Q&A and I'm just reading off of something, so that wasn't a big deal at all. But if I'm, for example, I have a video that's going to go up on the 24th that is about the Disney Vacation Club perks that you don't get if you buy resale, and kind of putting a dollar value to each one of those perks. That video is taking me weeks to research because I want to get it right. And I think I probably overshoot a little bit, so don't necessarily follow the way that I do it. But again, if it's a 20-minute video, I've put at least 40 minutes into researching what it is I'm going to talk about. And there's a whole bunch of information that I get that I never use in the video, but overdoing and having done all of my homework really helps me to feel like I am fully informed on what it is I'm talking about. And if I'm fully informed on what I'm talking about, then I can relax and not worry that I'm getting a fact wrong here or a fact wrong there. I know I have not prepared well for a video if I sit down to film and I feel like I have to look at my notes all the time and I'm stumbling. That does not work for me. Basically, I want to be so familiar with the content that it is just all up in here, and maybe I have bullet points that I'm reading from. Going back to Jackie's question earlier, and I'll end with this, about what mistakes do I see YouTubers do early on. Honestly, you guys, I think some of you are a little lazy, and I think you don't want to put the time and effort in. I get it, because in the very beginning, you're not getting anything back, right? It's kind of like a newborn baby. You're working so hard to take care of it, and you're not getting smiles or giggles or anything. You want to over-prepare. And I'm going to end with this because I think this is so important for anything that you're doing in life. Act like the professional that you want to be. So even though you're not making money, even though you don't have any subscribers, even though you may be videoing for a subscriber of exactly 3 people, your husband, your sister, and your mother, which can happen, do it as though you have 500,000 subscribers and you're courting vendors and you are looking to receive free things from hotels and all of that kind of thing. So kind of like dress for the job you want. YouTube as though you are the YouTuber that you imagine yourself to be. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but do invest in some good equipment. Invest in taking some time and doing the research. Invest some, mostly time, in making sure that your channel is a good reflection of who you are. And if you create content as though you already have a huge following, what will happen is, I believe, you will have a huge following. If you create content and you're kind of shy and your quality isn't great and you're thinking, well, nobody's really watching this anyway, nobody's really going to watch it anyway. So act like the YouTuber that you want to be. And I really do believe the views, the subscribers, the comments, all of that will come. You guys, these were great questions. I had so much fun doing this with you this morning. Thank you for the kind of odd location, although it's kind of fun to be filming at the Dolphin Resort at Walt Disney World. Again, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. If you have more questions after watching this video, please put those in the comments below. I will be responding to those. And it's just great to do this journey with you guys. Next month's creator update is going to be our 1 year. I can't. And I don't know what should we do? Like, should we have a party? Should we all go somewhere? I don't even know how to properly celebrate that. So if you guys have ideas on how I can celebrate, of course I could do a giveaway. But anyway, let me know that in the comments below. Thanks as always for being here. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.